Hi. I was wanting to be creative and I'm sitting here writing on a piece of paper. It says playfulness about a new vibe feel after all of the heartache. And I didn't write it yet, but that includes trauma and torture or whatever it has been. So I'm playing with the general idea, and I thought that what I could do is get a card to see what some good advice about it from Facade, because I really have fun doing that. So yeah, basically, what's up? What good? I'm not sure about the question, but I'm playing with names and ideas, right, for something online to just think about, to be happy and have fun. And I wanted to see a card that might help guide me into what that should be. So that would include like making it for others. What is a card for others too? Because I want to be a part of the collective. So what is a card for us that could help us understand what could be a good idea, to help us be playful about a new vibe feel after the heartache and whatever the problems there's been. So it's basically a card of inspiration. That's right. What is a card of inspiration that can help guide us to a choice for a new vibe feel of being creative when it comes to words and symbols and all of this? And I got the Voodoo Tarot, and it says, Masa la Flambeau, 9 of Wands, a pause in the current struggle to ready oneself, preparation to meet the final conclusive onslaught, forces assembled in anticipation of trials and tribulations, the steeling of the will to stand or fall, a line drawn in the sand. It's really hard to see the card, but there's 2 men kind of turned in different directions with like jars of fire. It says they draw on Santeria, which weaves Catholic and African beliefs into a vibrant tapestry. This exceptional deck is most often used to ask questions regarding joy, fury, and spirituality in everyday life. So, the 9 of Wands. Is that the one where he's got like a wound on his right away, I think? It was the 8 or the 9? Okay, the 9. 9 of Wands. Talks about perseverance and determination in the face of adversity. It seems I need to put it in English. I'm trying to read in French, but I can't fully read yet, so I have to keep trying. It says, the 9 of Wands in a tarot reading generally signifies resilience, persistence, and the strength to keep going despite challenges. It often appears when you're nearing the end of a difficult journey, and encourages you to stay focused and protect your progress. This card represents inner strength, the ability to overcome obstacles, and the importance of self-belief. Of course, we have to look at the picture too, but it's that I don't see too much. It kind of reminds me of the sea creatures at the coral reefs. Kind of looks like wings of a firebird. We've got 2 entities of the divine masculine but it looks like they've got a good outlook. That's what I can say. They've got a look that's like, yeah, we got this shit under control, and they're like preparing their containers of fire. And that's what it said, right? Let's read what it said. It said, a pause in the current struggle to ready oneself, preparation to meet the final conclusive onslaught, forces assembled in anticipation of trials and tribulations, the steeling of the will to stand or fall, a line drawn in the sand. I like that one, though, because the line drawn in the sand says, enough is enough, right? Like, we've chosen, right? So, that's that. I don't know. That's good. So, more of the reading from the internet says, perseverance. The Nine of Wands highlights the importance of pushing through difficulties, even when feeling weary or battle-scarred. It can also indicate a need to protect your boundaries and stand up for yourself, possibly due to past experiences or fear of setbacks. I like that, though. I want my boundaries protected. And I don't know about your situation, but that's exactly what I need. So, and it's saying that you need to protect your boundaries. So, like, well, I'm asking for help, right? I'm trying to persevere. That's right. That's why I'm doing this reading. It says defensive. I just said that. So it does say stand up for yourself, right? So that's not easy because it's monotonous, right? If someone keeps picking on you, or if someone keeps, like, they won't let go, right? They won't stop, and you have to keep standing up for yourself. It can be annoying because you just want to move along, especially if you stood up for yourself and you have to keep doing it, like you already did it, right? That's something I can say. It says inner strength. The card encourages you to tap into your inner resources and resilience to face challenges head on. So, I think that whatever could be lurking that was just heartache or trauma or torture, it doesn't seem like they have any intention on stopping. So, but I've been knowing that, like, you have to persevere and keep going. It's that I've had enough, in my situation, and I'm trying to draw the line in the sand and set boundaries, and it's not working, and I've had enough. But it says just keep tapping into whatever you got, and keep facing it head on, right? So I think anything we've learned that are ideas that's helpful, in our own individual lives, in the recent months, then we got to use. We've got to use that as a weapon, The card encourages you, I just said that, near completion. It often appears when you're close to achieving your goals, reminding you to stay the course and not give up the last hurdle. Potential challenges. The Nine of Wands can also suggest that you might encounter unexpected challenges or setbacks as you near the finish line. Well, I don't know what finish line they're talking about because I'm not in a race or whatever. But it seems like, you have to be careful. Like, there's people these days, they want you to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you, kill yourself. And they'll keep trying for you to tell you to end your life. You know what I mean? And that's an extreme example for someone who's not facing that. But I'm just saying that can be challenging, right? Even if you don't care about someone in particular, but they're telling you to kill yourself all of the time, that can be a hard thing to keep standing up against. But basically, I wanted to make this card about inspiration and playfulness, right? And it doesn't seem like, the card or the reading of the definition is it's not talking about a time to play. You know what I'm saying? It's saying we can't play right now because we're in a battle. And that's unfortunate. But I think that we actually can play. It's that the card is telling us that the way to play is to know how to fight in the battle while you do it. That you're going to have to try to play on purpose. Which I've already been knowing that, but it gets really challenging to do. Like yesterday, I got a reading that I was making about this similar subject, and I got the Queen and King of Pentacles with the star. And when I was trying to look at the card and think about how I felt, like I couldn't tap into it, you know? And I got really frustrated and just felt like this isn't worth it, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish, but I'd rather just quit. And I think that it seems that's coming up because in this Nine of Wands, it can feel like you want to quit, right? It could be easy to say, fuck, this shit, I'm out, right? But what I see is these two people who kind of look like twins, right? They're working together and they're kind of happy, right? They're like, we can do this. So like they're encouraging each other not to give up, and that they can accomplish the mission. And it seems like even the fire spirits are on the lookout, right? And they're ready. So I'm seeing if anything else comes to mind in particular looking at the picture. Of course, sometimes looking it up from the particular deck could be a good idea. Let's see. Sometimes people make comments about it. It says two Masa are in a temple. They carry the sacred fire of the petwo spirits. The fire is high but doesn't burn them or anything around them. The Masa are turned away from each other, but their actions mimic each other. This is someone's comment. I'm not sure who. But it says their actions mimic each other, separate but in sync, mirror images. The fires seem to lean into each other. Is that synthesis? It says that. The background is a card of mauve, feminine receptive energies, and they wrote temple as a womb. The Masa are the carriers of life-giving water, grace, and power. According to mysticvoodoo.com, they can't use the power, they can only give it away, which is why they rule transport and connection.